Right now, an investigation is underway after a training flight takes a deadly turn at Vance Air Force Base. 2 airmen died when 2 jets left the runway this morning.
Fox 25's Connor Hansen is in Enid with reaction from base leaders. Connor.
New video tonight showing a teen running on the tarmac at Will Rogers World Airport, trying to get away from detectives who were meeting him to arrest him. The teen slipped through a crack on the jet bridge when his flight from Houston touched down earlier this week. He ran across the tarmac with airport officials chasing him before getting on top of a building and jumping off, breaking both of his legs. Officers were at the airport to arrest him on a burglary warrant. The search is on tonight for this man, Richard Hitchcock. OSBI agents say he hasn't been seen since November 9th, and they're desperately looking for him right now. An Altus farmer saw Hitchcock walking in a field and said he'd run out of gas. She took him to a store in Davidson. His car was found near Tipton. He was last seen walking south into a field near Granfield. If you know where he is, call the OSBI tip line. That number is 800-522-8017.
911 expanding its services, now allowing you to text in case of an emergency. Logan County is one of 4 counties that utilize the program right now.
Fox 25 investigative reporter Erica Stanish walks us through the first text they got that saved a life, and she's got your back with the 2 things you need to remember before using the service. A developing story we are following. 2 teens and an adult are in custody tonight, all arrested at a Jenks school. They're accused of having guns and illegal drugs. The district says they got reports of a suspicious vehicle earlier this week, and then that same car turned up parked at the Freshman Academy this afternoon. Investigators say the teens were not Jenks students. The district sent texts, emails, and even called parents to let them know about the incident. No word yet on what, if any, charges the suspects are going to face. Now let's turn to the top 5 stories trending tonight on OKCFox.com. Myles Garrett's indefinite suspension will hold. That means he'll be suspended without pay for at least the remainder of the 2019 season. The Cleveland Browns defensive end originally appealed his suspension, but it was upheld today. Garrett was suspended after last Thursday night's game against the Steelers. That's when he hit Pittsburgh quarterback Mason Rudolph, a former Oklahoma State player, over the head with his own helmet. Garrett claims Rudolph used a racial slur before he ripped his helmet off. Rudolph, though, denies that claim. A teacher is suing Epic Charter School, claiming she was fired after objecting to enrollment practices. She's the 4th teacher to sue the online charter school. 1 teacher dropped her suit last week. A Los Angeles 10-year-old has an extravagant Christmas wish list. Instead of just some toys and clothes, if you bought everything on her list, it would cost you $10,000. Included on it, a new iPhone, a MacBook Air, a real bunny, Gucci slides, and $4,000 in cash. The body of a Navy veteran was found on the kitchen floor of his apartment, and the coroner's office says he had been dead for 3 years. This happened in a suburb of Dallas. His rent was taken from his bank account automatically. And this has been the #1 story on our website all week long: sober bars. This one in Austin offers a dark environment and non-alcoholic drinks like seltzers and soda for people who want to socialize without drinking alcohol. You could read more about these top trending stories. Just head to OKCFox.com. Here's a live look over Capitol Hill tonight. A final round of testimony this week now in the books. The 2 standout things that happened during today's impeachment hearings. That's next.
A new video tonight shows an intense arrest. A Tulsa police officer was trying to question a driver about a broken taillight. That man wound up with a slew of charges.
25-year-old Mariko Farrick faces 8 charges tonight. The biggest of all of his troubles, according to the police report, spitting in an officer's face and having a fake ID. And as Aaron Christie from our sister station in Tulsa explains, Farrick is someone police know very well. That was Aaron Christie reporting from Tulsa. In this instance, Tulsa police say he would have been at most given a ticket if he hadn't resisted arrest. A Yukon man's execution now on hold. A federal judge today temporarily halted the first federal execution in 16 years as a lawsuit against the government continues. Death row inmates challenging the procedures the government intends to use to carry out executions. Danny Lee was scheduled to be executed on December 9th. He was convicted in the 1996 deaths of an Arkansas family as part of a plot to set up a whites-only nation in the Pacific Northwest. 2 new lung injury cases being reported tonight in Oklahoma. Those lung injuries coming from vaping. These are the first new cases since the state health department began tracking them a little more than a month ago. The total number of cases so far in our state is 6. 2 of those involving teenagers. 3 people are between the ages of 18 and 34, and 1 case involves a person older than 34. Nationwide, the CDC says there have been 2,000 cases of vaping injury, including 47 deaths. They're still investigating an exact cause, but they believe vitamin E acetate may be a culprit. Your plumbing probably isn't up to snuff when it comes to planning a big Thanksgiving dinner. We've got your back with the 3 ways to avoid having to call a plumber next week. House fires becoming more common during colder weather, so the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management wants you and your family to have a plan. First, make sure you know of 2 ways out of every room in the house. Go over multiple escape routes with your children and practice using them. You'll also want to come up with a place to meet once you make it outside, and be sure all the smoke alarms in your home are properly working. Tomorrow night, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol and an NDUI team partnering with Guthrie Police to conduct a sobriety checkpoint. According to the Guthrie News page, it'll all start at 11 p.m. and run through 1 a.m. on Saturday. High visibility DUI patrols will also be taking place across Guthrie and Logan County. This means additional troopers and officers will be on duty looking for impaired drivers before, during, and after the checkpoint. Here's a live look over more right now. There's a brand new bridge open there tonight, and along with helping congestion in the area, it's also going to save lives. We'll explain coming up.
Winter temperatures continuing tomorrow and some morning rain, so not a good time to do any holiday decorating, but you can do whatever you want this weekend. Cool to chilly but dry. Your full storm watch forecast is next.
Drivers just south of Oklahoma City should deal with a little less congestion on their morning commute.
A brand new overpass and more is now open to drivers, but traffic isn't the only thing it'll improve. Fox 25's McKenna Eubank has your back with how it could save lives. Home DNA test kits are relatively easy to use and inexpensive. A popular gift, they can be used to reveal your heritage.
But they also offer a genetic component, and sometimes those results can be scary. For tonight's Spotlight on America, Walt Makaworski meets one woman who says, buyer beware. Spotlight on America did talk with some popular home test kit companies who say they don't recommend people using third-party vendors to do the genetic testing.
Looking to dive into an exciting career? You'll see where I'm going with this.
Okay.
The Oklahoma Aquarium, now you got it, may have the perfect offer for you.
Yeah, they're taking applications for internships right now. The aquarium in Jenks says along with college credit, interns get to work and learn in a world-class facility. And there's a lot more to it than just feeding the animals. We're told students can get all kinds of experience from marketing and event planning to chemistry.
Really strong swimmers.
That's good to know.
Yeah. I just took a selfie of you guys hugging each other. I was left out. I'm gonna have to share that.
Notice how I was perfectly poised.
You were. It was a beautiful move.
I think you're his biggest fan.
Wait a minute. Hey, no, let's get back on the deer story. I didn't believe that at first until I looked it up. They are strong swimmers. They can swim for miles at 13 miles an hour. So
wow.
It's true.